Hi, everybody. This is Matt Sweetwood with
Julian Caldwell.
Julian Caldwell. So we're here at the Dad 2 Summit. And before we start our Facebook Live and talk about fatherhood, I just want to let everybody know that we just went to the barber.
Yeah.
We both had very long blonde hair.
Yeah.
And we decided that in celebration of fatherhood,
yeah, we'd look old.
We decided that we were going to go for the shiny look.
Yeah, we're good.
So the summit it's going on out there. Actually, we had enough. Like, how many hours were you in the?
Oh, like all of it.
All of it. Like, I was
7
there.
hours, 6 hours, 7
and
hours.
For me, I haven't sat through 7 hours of anything until last my mom made me do it or something.
That's right.
A long time ago. But no, at the summit, this is my first summit.
Me too.
It's really been great just hanging with a bunch of dads, and just sort of communicating on a different level. I've never been anything like this. Usually it's business conference.
That's nice. It's like they're. You've got all ranges, all varieties of parenting, family types. It's just amazing.
Right. Everybody. It's just, I find that most interesting. Just the variety of dads and everybody's story, because we've talked a little bit.
Yeah.
So we each have a different kind of dad story. But I think that to me is really amazing, how many different stories and emotional stories.
Yeah.
And it's a place, like, how often do dads really talk about the emotional side of fatherhood?
Yeah, it's unusual. When I was flying in, I'm thinking there's like 500 dads going to be at this conference. That's probably an unusual, without their kids and maybe without their wives. Some of their wives are here, but just be able to sit around with other dads going through different seasons of their life. It's a rich tapestry of fatherhood.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And but I think the common thread in the tapestry is that it's all committed. You like that one?
Oh, that's good.
Right. So the common thread in the tapestry is that it's all committed fatherhood.
Yeah.
So everybody here is a committed father in their own way. Some suffering from depression. We have gay dads here. We have single dads like myself, who've raised kids on their own. We have dads who have issues with their children. We have, it's every variety that you have, and it's really, I just find it very engaging to see other people talk about it, because usually I have a feeling, and I don't know if you feel this way, but I'm usually the only one talking about fatherhood out loud where I come from.
Yeah, I'm that strange guy in the room, right? Yeah, it's like let's talk about dads. Even business conversations end up turning into like my role as a father, right? It's such an important part of my life.
I've written articles when I first started writing for my blog, which is M Sweetwood. Everybody finds it's my Facebook. Everybody knows who I. Sorry, I went into plug mode.
I'm good. I was good. Yeah.
Right now, but it's on my Facebook, so it's like everybody.
So just stay here.
Just stay here. Exactly.
Don't move. Yeah.
Don't move. I actually started writing business and fatherhood articles together.
Yeah.
So, I wrote an article, what's the difference between great leadership and great parenting? And obviously the answer is there's not a lot of difference, right? You use skills in both, so you bring them together. So let's talk our stories.
Yeah.
So tell us your fatherhood story.
I'm a round 2 dad, right? So I've got an older daughter who's 23, and she's in her last year of college. And thankfully she's a couple of months away. It's going to be exciting for her to set off. And then about 7 years ago, my wife and I were watching our youngest niece get born, and my wife looked over to me and said, "Let's have a baby." And we tried for a while, and then ended up adopting. So we've adopted a boy who's 5 and a boy who's 3 now.
I think that's amazing. There's no bigger sign of love and devotion than to adopt.
It's crazy.
Can I have an honest moment? It's like I always wondered whether I could do that or not. I love my kids a lot.
Yeah.
But to love kids that are not, that don't. I don't know. I guess it's really the same thing. I guess it's really just But
it's
anyway,
intense. It really is. It's the
intense.
it's the most amazing love. I couldn't imagine.
Did you ever have? And this is probably a very difficult thing to ask. Did you ever have a doubt, like I did the wrong thing, or what did we do? Not that I did the wrong thing. What did we do?
Well, so I'm an older father, so whenever I get awakened in the middle of the night, I have that doubt, what did I do? But no, at the end of the day, it's it's being a dad for most rewarding experience that I can
Absolutely.
ever
There's
have.
nothing that compares to it.
It's crazy.
It doesn't matter how much professional success you have.
No, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. They look back and say, "How are your kids?" Right? One of the things I love about my mom and my dad is that they've retired, they're having a great life, but they say the only thing that they judge themselves on is how well their kids turned out. That's it. They have no other. It says if I don't have a penny to my name, but my kids are in good shape and their families are healthy. I've made
Absolutely. You know the saying, no one on their deathbed ever said they wish they worked more. They always say, I wish I spent more time with my kids and my family and things like
probably.
that.
Yeah, that's right.
So go ahead, you were telling your story. So
So 5 years fast forward, here I am at a dad conference. We although we look very young, I'm one of the more senior guys here, and I think I'm one of the senior guys here. So I would have never.
I'm with you.
I know. I would have never guessed though. I'd be here, at the age of 40. But it's fun. I'm amazed.
So, what's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sent heart smiley face.
Oh, well.
And then Virag Goylis.
Yeah, that's my yeah, Virig.
Nice haircut.
Ah, okay, right. We like that. That's right.
Yeah. Smooth.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is it good with my hair all in place? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
All of them.
That's right. I feel like long-haired compared to you. See, but you know what it really is that this is lazy. See, to do that, you have to take care of that every day.
Every day.
This is 2 weeks. I can get away with two weeks. Yeah. And the Facebook guy here, by the way, a shout out. Thanks for Facebook for actually for supporting the Dad 2.0 Summit.
Great.
It's really important. We appreciate the support.
And the contractors.
That's right.
That's right.
We appreciate the support of Facebook. We really do. You know, you can't have a conference unless you have supporters. So for me, I had kids when I was young.
Yeah.
I was married. I have 5 kids that I actually know about. Actually come to me for money and things like that. There could be more, but those are the ones that really matter. And I had a difficult circumstance. Their mother left them when they were little. So my youngest was 18 months and my oldest was 8. It's a long time ago, a very long time ago. Actually, I did have long blonde hair at that time. Well, not so long, but. And so we went through very, very difficult time. I was a kid. I was in, my early 30s. I had no idea what I was doing. Had these 5 little kids that were all messed up. And somehow, I looked like a jail sentence. I thought it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. It ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me. And today my kids are all in their 20s. They're all super successful. And we've made it, and it transformed my life. And people always ask, when I tell people that story, they're like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. I'm like, what are you sorry about? It's the best thing that ever, it really is the best thing that ever happened to me.
I know.
It turned me into a man. I had to man up. That's the title of my upcoming book, plug, right? Book should be out in a few months. It's called Man Up. And that's what I had to do. I had to man up and figure out how to do it. And now we live great lives. We get to come to these conferences.
I know, right?
Right? And have a ball here and, build our social media and do things like that.
So what's one thing you've learned today? I mean, so we've had lots of messaging, lots of conversation. What's like one thing that for the men and women who weren't able to come, what's one thing that you could say, listen, I didn't think about this until...
I think it really goes back to what we were talking about, the breadth of fatherhood. And the emotive side of fatherhood is something to be proud of. It's something I will leave this conference. We learn specific things.
Yeah.
I just was at an influencer, meeting where we talked about how to be influencers and do things like that. But for me, I walk away with a renewed pride in talking about fatherhood and knowing that it's something that you can freely, moms have no problem. We're in society today, equality for women, we're all for that. But, there's a chance for men, particularly like white guys like us, to sit there and we've had difficult things happen to us.
I cried all day.
Right.
I'm joking.
I didn't cry.
No.
I didn't believe that for 1 second. No, we don't cry. But to really realize that this is an okay thing to talk about.
Yeah.
To talk about we love our kids and to talk about how important fatherhood and that paternal bond that we have with children. I think you're no better. You're one of the best examples of that. You adopted children and you have a paternal bond, and I think that's it. Is that you can say the paternal bond is just every bit as strong as the maternal bond.
Yeah, truly.
And it's free to talk about that. How about yourself? What do you think is your big takeaway?
So there's a story this morning that touched me. It was Ebenezer. I forgot Ebenezer's last name.
The person who came in on the containers.
Yeah. So a gentleman he snuck in twice to America riding a container. So he spent 14 days in the back of a container eating a package of crackers and
he had
water.
No, it was cookies. He had cookies and one bottle of water, 14 days in a container, and then 16 days the second time.
And got deported and then came back in. And then what I loved about the best part was his kids, he has 3 kids he brought back over from Ghana, but they were missing mom, so he actually went out and got an outfit, women's outfit, and then came back in as his father-mother,
Right,
mother-father. He said, he goes,
Right,
yeah, I'm
mother-
here,
mother-father,
because
right.
he was, that's the best he could do. So I love that story, because how many times have we embarrassed ourselves to do the right thing by our kids and try to, you
Yes.
throw yourself out there to make your child not feel embarrassed or whatever. So it's just neat hearing that story. And then it was an interesting perspective about the refugee challenge, right? It's how badly do you want to get to the United States if you can spend 14 days in a container?
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's one of those things where, it's funny. I think some people took away from that maybe government didn't do the right thing, but it sounded like in our case, the government really, they did the right thing.
The second time around.
The second time around.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't really say the first time around he was asking for asylum.
Yeah.
I listened to him carefully, but the second time, and it sounded like he needed asylum.
Yeah. So a neat story just about what we do and the links we go to be.
And the other part that I really liked about that talk was that he continually, as he taught, and he was telling a gripping story, he continually kept saying, I miss my kids, I couldn't see my kids. You could see the pain, like he was recalling the pain from that.
Absolutely.
And we all feel like that, and that's a shout out to dads out there who don't always get to see their kids, and if it's for custody or for whatever reasons don't get to see. Dads feel a lot of pain from that circumstance. So.
Yeah.
Cole says you look incredible, very professional. You all that microphone.
Give her, wait, I have to do the heart, right? We do the heart, right? We do the heart. Okay.
Facebook heart, yeah.
Yeah, Facebook. Wait. I can walk back here, right? We do that.
Don't forget to interview that guy. Seems he has a very powerful story.
Yeah, he did. He did for sure. In fact, if you go to the Dad 2 Summit webpage, he's up there. I believe his contact information is actually up there.
Yeah.
So if you want to reach out to him, but yeah, that was a very, very gripping story. So I'm really excited. We have another day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's more stuff to do, and I actually we both have talks tomorrow.
We do.
So your talk tomorrow is about.
Social advocacy and the risk of taking an opinion online today, right? So if you think about the challenges of having an opinion, and do you actually express that, or do you keep it more? Do you be more brand oriented? So it's kind of the consequences of having an opinion.
I really like that talk because my main talk is actually not on fatherhood. I talk on personal branding. As a matter of fact, I'm CEO of a social media network, BB, that's about personal branding, and we don't compete really with Facebook, don't worry. So we talk about personal branding, and one of my rules of personal branding, for example, is never post about politics, because the second you post about politics, it's going to go really wrong for you when you do that.
Yeah.
But so this is a really interesting topic of where you can bring the line. I'm actually sorry we can't be there because we're both speaking at the same time tomorrow. So this is really interesting. I'm really interested to hear how it goes on that. My talk is on being a rock. In other words, when you're going through difficult moments of fatherhood, you're getting divorced, you're having issues with your children, where do you lean on for support? Where do you turn for support?
That's right.
What if you don't have a support system? I didn't have a very big support system when the mother left, and the community turned against me. I had lots of things going on. So it's how do you deal with that? And I like that topic too, because it's a chance for men to really express their emotional side.
That's great. So I think one thing I'd like to make a plug for GetConnectDad.
Yeah, of course.
So my group is GetConnectDad. So Get Connected with a dad at the end. So GetConnectDad. It's on my lanyard. Yeah. There we go. I encourage dads to actually challenge to come to a conference like this. If you're thinking about it, it's you don't have to be a blogger to be here.
Absolutely. There's only a few bloggers and speakers here. The rest of the 500 people here, there's 40 or 50 of us here that are actually going, on stage. The rest of the people here are actually just here to interact with dads. So anyway, great, a pleasure.
Likewise.
I'm glad to have made a new dad friend out here, and we'll do this again.
You bet. Nice.
Great.
Thanks so
And
much.
thanks again for having us.
Thanks,
out
everyone.
Here.